Let's talk about conclusion shopping and motivated reasoning and reality testing for the cult mind. When people are, especially, born into these religions and conditioned into believing what the preachers say and believing that's coming from God and stuff like that, and they have a vested interest in conforming to that environment because whether it's you're in because your family's in there, stuff like that. I mean, you can be a firm believer in what they're saying because you have a limited amount of knowledge. So what they are saying seems to be accurate or correct because that's all you know. I usually compare it to, like, if you had a plumbing problem and two plumbers came to your house. One has a toolbox with a couple of tools in it and no experience, maybe a year experience, and another guy comes and has a full van full of tools and he's been practicing for 30 years in plumbing. I'd say which opinion carries more weight? I mean, obviously the guy that's been doing the job for 30 years and has a van full of tools, who would you trust to do the job better? And that's how I compare it to people that are in, like, these high control religions and cults, is that they reject information and evidence, are afraid of looking into stuff too often. I won't say everybody, but most people. There are a few that do, and people have reached out to me that have been born, like, even in an OALC church, but they don't believe it because they've read enough information to understand now that the logical fallacies and some of the stuff still some are still staying in because they have a variety of reasons, which I've discussed in other videos and stuff like that. So what happens then is that these people that are conditioned into it and they have to believe it, they have motivated reasoning when it comes to, like, if you are going to look for information, which a lot don't because you fear looking for information. But if you are going to look at any information on your own, you're going to go with a lens of motivated reasoning where you're going to look for information that's going to validate the conclusion that you want. Well, let's just conclusion shopping. It's like I'm going to look for evidence that upholds what I already believe because they fear looking at information that doesn't fit into their worldview because that will cause distress, like cognitive dissonance, like, oh, I have to believe this, I want to believe this, so I have to, like, reject or fear or run away from this other information. And I usually encourage people, like, reality test anything you believe, whether it's politics, religion, anything, reality test it. Look at information that maybe not from your ideological allies and see, maybe I am wrong about this or that, or maybe I can learn something new. Like I said, just don't be afraid of information. You may find that you're wrong on some things and be willing to pivot and learn new things. Thanks. See ya.